All right, everybody, wasn't that cool? Yeah! Okay, are you ready for a couple of Elm Street movies? Yeah, so am I. All right, we are about to show A Nightmare on Elm Street from 1984, directed by Wes Craven, one of the best horror films ever made. And here to introduce the movie is all of SAG, basically. Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, John Saxon, Ronnie Blakely, Amanda Wyss, J. Stu Garcia, also known as Nick Corey, and Charles Fleischer from A Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's hear it!
Hello! I feel like I know all of you so well now. Anyway, it's our pleasure to be here. It's such a flattering reality to come face to face with our fans like this and for you to express your gratitude. 10 years ago when I was here, everyone was like, this was my favorite movie in college, or this is my favorite movie in high school. All you guys told me today this was your favorite movie when you were 4! So, you guys are a young but hearty crowd. All right, Mandy?
Well, I just wanted to say, thank you for the tribute. Michael, thank you for the tribute. It was wonderful to see it. I want to sleep with your editor. It was terrific stuff. There's the 445 to Newark. Anyway, I want to say something. Back then, I was a character actor who had been working in the 70s Renaissance, not as successfully as Ronnie, you know, who we all remember from Nashville, one of the most incredible performances ever. You know, we idolized. I can remember seeing Ronnie trying out her new songs with Jeff Goldblum in Deep Valley, San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles. But when I did this movie, in the original movie, if you guys all look at some of the memorabilia you may have purchased today at exorbitant prices, you'll realize that I'm not even mentioned. That Ronnie and Heather and Amanda and all the others had billing over me, especially the revered Mr. Saxon. And if I hadn't been surrounded by the talent and the beauty and the pure energy of someone like Heather, who is in every goddamn frame of the movie, you know, I have this one memory when at the end of the film, you know, when I was finally getting a little respect, only because it was considered macho that I could, you know, sit through the makeup application every day. I remember one day standing in the dark with Johnny Depp and looking at Heather working second unit, running at me off camera, and she stepped on a nail. And I stood up and puffed up my chest. And I finally assumed the role of the lead in the movie to defend Heather because the assistant director, Sean Cunningham, who was directing second unit, as in Friday the 13th, was just working Heather so hard because he'd come into aid Wes and finish the movie because we'd literally run out of money. And if it hadn't been for the energy of Heather and Amanda being hung upside down by her butt for 2 weeks, and Ronnie running around in the hot boiler room set, which was 110 degrees, when she could have been out, you know, making a fortune and at every Beverly Hills party, still cashing in on her Nashville fame. If all these wonderful people hadn't been there and given this movie the cachet and the class that it had and the beauty and the energy it had, I wouldn't be here today, you know, still milking this series of phenomenal films and getting to go work in Europe whenever I feel like it. So I just want to thank all of you fans and everybody on the stage here, except Charles. No, I'm sorry. No, he deserves nothing. No, I'm teasing. And I'm handing this off now to anybody that wants to grab.
Well, I'm going to say that we would not have had the genius of Robert in this role without John Saxon, because when I was hired to play the part of Marge Thompson, John Saxon was the person who was already hired and was the person who was the name that was used to raise the money.
We got more money on John's name.
To produce it,
yeah.
Which was $1.2 million. And then
and because you guys, I know there's John Saxon movies that maybe are too old for some of you out there, but I just want to tell you guys something. 1 year ago today, the final episode of the season of CSI was directed by Quentin Tarantino and starred John Saxon. Woo! And if you haven't seen that episode, you don't know your CSI.
So then John was on, so then I was on, and then the next thing was everybody came on. Robert Englund, revered Shakespearean actor, took the role of Freddie. And in the hot sun, we would have lunch, and he would be having lunch with his 4, 5-layered, 6-layered prosthesis, incredibly, beautifully designed face. It was difficult.
I was okay except for vinaigrette.
And he had a tough time with his skin. He had to suffer with his skin, his fair, beautiful skin.
Well, no, here's the thing. You have to understand. I would come to makeup in the mornings, you guys. Ronnie would be there in a low-cut blouse. Absolutely gorgeous. She had a tan. She was tan in those days because we didn't know about sun. Heather was 19 years old or something.
19. She was 19.
Amanda was the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Still is.
Johnny Depp was so cute. I'd go out with him.
So cute.
Nick was drop dead gorgeous.
Dead gorgeous.
And they would get makeup. These kids would get makeup. And they'd have little fans on them, and they'd have somebody doing their hair, and like they needed makeup. They didn't need makeup.
No makeup.
They were all gorgeous. I'd sit there, and a guy would hit me with a turkey baster full of KY jelly for 4 hours.
I still enjoy that.
Charles, there's no accounting for taste.
1, 2, 3. That's the count.
One thing I want to say is I want to say that I am in a lot of the movie, but Amanda's really the first female face you see in these movies, and to me, she's a perfect representation of that innocence that Freddie came to demolish at every opportunity.
Oh, she's my first bad girl.
No, she was bad, but she was that opening scene in her white nightie. I don't know. To me, that's one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. See-through, down in the boiler room.
What I always regret is we never saw the consummation of Nick and Amanda, because they had some chemistry.
We have a special surprise. During this film simulcast on the moon, we are going to have a Japanese anime version of that consummation scene. So those of you who are squeamish, don't look, but I've seen it. It's hot. Make sure you look on the crater to the left, just beyond the Pink Floyd point.
High school photos of Charles and I, we have the same hair. Okay, let's introduce the movie.
I think you should see the movie. This is a special edition that was edited specifically for you. That's not true, but this whole industry, it's an industry of lies. Your hand smells like chicken. Enjoy the movie, and may all your nightmares be on Elm Street.
How about that, everybody? Okay, are we ready? Are we ready? Nightmare on Elm Street.